Okay, take two. Hopefully, I'm coming through okay now. Apologies for that. There was just an issue with the PC. For some reason, it just froze. Um, but that's okay. We're all good. We're back now. So yeah, introducing the Airbus A380 into the simulator. Very very exciting. This is the one we've all been waiting for. And it's funny. I was waiting for this aircraft for so long because, as you know, I've been flying the A320 pretty much for every stream. I just love the Airbus aircraft, and I've been waiting for the A380, and it's finally here. So very very exciting. I've downloaded the flight manual, which is this little baby here. This is the flight manual. It's a 100-page manual which details all the various flows from starting up of the aircraft, the powering up of the aircraft, the flows, the all the checklists that needs to be performed, all that sort of stuff. That's in this manual, and no doubt I'll be studying this and reading it and watching other pilots and learning how to fly the A380. So this is the world's largest commercial passenger aircraft. It is absolutely massive. Okay, and it's so massive. I actually flew this back in September. We flew from Sydney to Dubai, and then on from Dubai to Madrid, and it was an absolute pleasure to fly. It really is. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's a double-decker aircraft, but I'm going to go into all the specs and all that sort of stuff as we move on. So this stream is going to be different. We're not doing a flight or anything like that. I'm just essentially just going to be talking about the A380, talking about its unique features, I guess, of the aircraft. I'm going to be talking about Airbus and how they came up with the A380, why they developed the A380, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so this is an overall view now of the aircraft, but I'm also going to take you down onto the ground, and we're going to take you on a little tour around the aircraft. But you can see here that it's we're currently parked in Sydney. And this is obviously Emirates gate 58. But yeah, look, it's looks perfect, doesn't it? Looks beautiful. But yeah, I'm going to be taking you through the various features of the aircraft. So I'm just going to go into the notes here and start from the top again. And apologies once again for the stream. The PC was just playing games on me, but hopefully you can all see me now. So yeah, so the Airbus A380 it was first talked about by Airbus back in 1988, and the reason why Airbus developed the A380 was really to compete with the Boeing 747 at the time. Now the Boeing 747 was I must say it's no longer in operation, and by the way, the A380 is no longer in operation as well. Airbus announced that they've stopped production of the A380 for various reasons, and I'll go into that shortly. But they developed the A380 to compete with the 747 from Boeing. Now, Boeing at the time had the long-haul market sewn up. Okay, it was a very, very popular aircraft, a great aircraft, long-haul. Again, 4 engines, all that sort of stuff. But Airbus at the time didn't have an aircraft that could compete with the Boeing 747, so they came up with the Airbus A380, and as you can see, The Airbus A380 is absolutely huge, as I've just said. But I'm going to be going through the sorry guys. I'm going to be going through the oh, come on. Sorry guys. The various features and that, and I'm just going through the course notes here. So the A380 has a standard seating layout for 555 passengers on 2 decks in a 3-class configuration. Okay, and that varied from airline to airline. So Qantas, for example, they fitted their A380s with 523 seats in 3 classes. So in terms of the actual space and floor area, the A380 has 49% more floor area, but only 35% more seats than the Boeing 747, which it was set to compete against, right? This was envisaged to allow more room for passenger amenities such as bars, gymnasiums and duty-free shops at the airline's discretion. Okay, of course, you know, these amenities are all very well at the conceptual stage, but economic pressures add a little bit of a reality check, and to date, you know, no airline has really put any gyms or anything like that in there. They've got, you know, first class cabins and suites and stuff like that, but it all comes down to the mighty dollar, I guess. So in terms of first class cabins, the airlines that really ran with that on the A380 was the Emirates and Singapore Airlines. And incidentally, Emirates is Airbus's largest customer, I guess, for the A380. And I'll go through the numbers in a second of how many A380s they've actually got in circulation at the moment. So the aircraft is equipped with 4 70,000-pound thrust engines. Okay, 4 engines. Okay, and there's 2 variants. Okay, there's the Rolls-Royce Trent 900 engines, or there's the General Electric / Pratt & Whitney Engine Alliance, which is the GP 7200 engines. The most common variation is the Rolls-Royce. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Which is the Rolls-Royce Trent 900. Okay, that's the most common variation for the A380 at the moment. In terms of its takeoff length, so what length the runway needs to be for the A380 to take off, it needs to be over 3,000 meters at its maximum weight. So if the aircraft has, you know, the maximum weight on board, i.e. cargo and passengers, the actual runway itself has to be over 3,000 meters for the aircraft to successfully take off. Okay, because it needs quite a long roll to generate that speed to successfully take off from the ground. Okay. The landing gear features a 22-wheel Goodrich landing gear. Okay, now that consists of 2 underwing struts, each with 4 wheels, 2 central under fuselage struts, each with 6 wheels, and a twin nose wheel. Now, I'm going to take you down on the ground in just a moment, and I'm going to take you around the aircraft underneath, and I'll show you the landing gear and all that sort of stuff, just to give you a visual. But yeah, overall it's a 22-wheel landing gear. Okay, so again, 2 underwing struts, each with 4 wheels, 2 central under the fuselage struts, each with 6 wheels, and a twin nose wheel. Okay, each landing gear, right, can support about 167 tons of weight. Okay, so just under 170 tons of weight, the landing gears can support that. Okay. The aircraft can complete a 180 degree turn within a width of 56.5 meters, which is within the 60 metre width dimension of standard runways. Okay, so that's all good. So a standard runway, the width is usually around 60 metres. So the A380 can complete a 180 degree turn within a width of 56.5 metres. The maximum operating speed is Mach 0.89, and the range of the aircraft is 15,000 kilometres or 8,000 nautical miles, with a maximum number of passengers. The turnaround time at the airport terminal, including passenger disembarkation, cleaning, restocking, and embarking the passengers for the next flight, is a minimum of 90 minutes. So it takes a minimum of an hour and a half to basically, disembark or load all the passengers or enable the passengers to embark the aircraft, and the cleaning, the restocking, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so it's a minimum of 90 minutes. Now, in terms of the fuel tanks, there are 10 fuel tanks with a capacity of 320,000 litres of fuel. Okay, so just bear that in mind for a second. 10 fuel tanks on board with a capacity of 320,000 litres of fuel. Refueling can be carried out in 40 minutes. Okay, so a total of 40 minutes to be fully refueled on the A380. What else do we have here? Okay, I've got the specs table here, and this is really interesting. Okay, so typical seating, it can seat 555 passengers. Okay, now remembering, this is a twin deck aircraft. All right, you have a lower deck and you have an upper deck. The price tag for the aircraft was just over $375 million for one aircraft. Okay, $375 million US. The flight crew consists of 2 people. Okay, so it consists of the officer in charge, so the captain, and the first officer to fly the aircraft. Okay, so the captain or the pilot monitoring, in other words. First officer, pilot monitoring. Okay. Now the dimensions of the aircraft. Okay, so the length, the total length from the tail, right, to the nose is 73 metres. Okay, so it's 73 metres long. The height of the aircraft is 24.1 metres, so just over 24 metres high from the ground to the top of the aircraft. Okay. The fuselage diameter is just over 7 metres. Okay. In fact, you know what? What I might do now, I might take you to the ground now. Let's take you to the ground now. Okay, so here we are. We're on the ground in Sydney, and we're right underneath the aircraft. Okay, so I'm going to take you inside as well, but we'll do the outside first. So it's 73 metres in length. Okay, 73 metres in length. I'm just playing with the camera here. 73 metres in length. The height is 24.1 metres. Okay, the fuselage diameter. Right, so the width of the fuselage is just over 7 metres. I'm just taking over the top of the aircraft here. Right, so that the width of the fuselage here is just over 7 metres. Okay. The cabin length, so the internal length of the cabin is just over 50 metres long. The maximum cabin width, so the main deck, is just over 6.5 metres. The maximum cabin width of the upper deck is just under 6 metres. So the upper deck is a little bit narrower than the main deck. And again, I'm going to take you inside and show you. The wheelbase is 30.4 meters. Track of 14.3 meters. The wing area is 843 square meters. Okay, that's the wing area. Now the wing span, okay, is just under 80 meters. That's the wingspan. Now, when I flew this back in September, we were actually seated in the middle of the aircraft, right over the wing. So we were seated around here, okay? And the wing, I've got to say, is absolutely huge. It is massive. But that's where we were seated, and put it this way, we couldn't see anything else, okay? For the most part, I was on the window, but you just couldn't see anything else. You could only see the wing, but the wing span is just under 80 meters, so it's absolutely huge, guys. It's massive. But yeah, as I said, we were sitting around here in the middle of the aircraft on the lower deck. Now, in terms of the weights, okay, the maximum ramp weight is 562,000 tons. The maximum takeoff weight is 560,000 tons. Okay, so the weight of the aircraft cannot exceed, for it to take off successfully, it cannot exceed 560,000 tons. Okay, it can't exceed that. I'm just getting the camera all set here, guys. I'm just going to go back on the ground. But it can't exceed that. The maximum landing weight is 386,000 tons. The maximum zero fuel weight. Now, the zero fuel weight is the aircraft with all passengers and cargo on board, but no fuel. Okay, so the fuel hasn't been loaded. There's absolutely no fuel on the aircraft. Is 361,000 tons. The maximum fuel capacity is 320,000 litres. The typical operating empty weight is 277,000 tons. Typical volume payload is 664,000 tons. Engines, we talked about that. The Rolls-Royce Trent 900, which is what's modelled here. These are the Rolls-Royce engines. Okay. Which are these here? The size of the engine itself is just absolutely massive. It's huge, but yeah. So they're the Trent 900. Trent 900 engines from Rolls-Royce. The range of the aircraft, I think I touched on this earlier, it can range, or the maximum range is 15,000 kilometres, and that's with the maximum number of passengers on board. The maximum operating speed is 0.89 Mach speed. The long-range cruising speed is 0.85 Mach, and the service ceiling is 43,000 feet. So the highest this aircraft can cruise at is 43,000 feet. In other words, just over 13,000 metres. The cargo, total freight and cargo volume, 171 cubic metres. Bulk hold volume, 18.4 cubic metres. Maximum volume of pallets, underfloor 13 pallets. That's interesting. Container capacity, underfloor 38 LD3 containers. Not sure what an LD3 container is, but anyway. So there you go. So I'm going to take you inside the aircraft now. Or I might even take you inside the flight deck. Let's go inside the flight deck here. Actually, here we go. So here's the flight deck. Okay. Perfectly modelled. I might just power it up. I'll power it up for you. So we'll put the batteries on, switch the batteries on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll put the external batteries on also. Then the aircraft does its initialization and all that sort of stuff. It goes through all that. But yeah, so this is the flight deck. Okay. And this is what I'm going to be learning for quite a while, no doubt. No doubt. But it's yeah, it's really exciting, guys, to have this. So yeah, flight deck. You got the overhead panel here. You've got the FCU panel, the MCDU, okay. The navigation display, the primary flight display, the ECAM displays, both upper and lower. Throttle quadrant is down here. So it's laid out very similar to the Airbus. Yeah, it's a typical Airbus sort of configuration. Now you got your side stick on the side here as well. Yeah, speed brakes on the side. Your flaps are on the right hand side here, so very similar to the A320, but just in a, I guess in a, you know, turned up to 10, if you will. So that's the flight deck. So as I said, look, we're not going to do a flight today because I need to learn the aircraft anyway. So so it's going to take a while for me to confidently take this on a full flight, which I plan on doing. I plan on doing a full flight and replicating the flight that we did back in September. So from Sydney to Dubai. So I'll do that over one leg, and then you know, the following day or the following week I'll do Dubai to Madrid. But yeah, here it is. So this is the Airbus A320. So let's take you through the cabin. We'll go through the lower deck first, I think. So this is the lower deck, and I think this is premium economy. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's premium economy. So this is premium economy. Yeah, it is premium economy, because premium economy is a 2-4-2 layout. So you can see there you got your 2 seats on the side of the aircraft. Okay. You then have your 4 seats in the middle to accommodate families. And then you've got your other 2 seats on the other side of the aircraft. So this is premium economy. Okay, so that's the first class you walk through as you enter the aircraft. Okay. And then you've got upstairs for business and everything. I'll take you upstairs in a second. So this is premium economy. And then we walk down to economy. Oop. And this is your economy class. Okay, so again, economy, 3 seats on the side. So it's a 3-4-3 configuration. So you can see the 3 seats on the side here, 4 in the middle, okay, and 3 on the side. And then you've got economy all the way down to the end of the aircraft. Just straighten up a little bit here. So economy all the way down. You can see how big it is. Like, it's just absolutely massive, this aircraft. It really is. It's huge. So we're still in economy. And this is the stairwell for the upper deck. Now, there's two stairwells. There's one at the front. So as you exit the flight deck, you'll see the stairwell. You probably saw that a minute ago. But then there's the secondary stairwell at the rear of the aircraft, which is what this is. So we'll go up this stairwell. And we are now in business class. Okay, so this is business. There's a little bar there. How cool is that? Let me turn around here. Yeah, Singapore usually have, I think with Singapore Airlines and Emirates, this is where they have all their suites and, you know, first class cabins and all that sort of stuff. Or is it further down here? Not that I would know. I've never flown first or business class, but let's go down. So this is, I think this is business class. Might even be first class, I'm not sure. But they look like business class seats to me. So we're walking down. Whoop. Okay, I think we're approaching first class now. This might be first class. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is first class. So this is first class. Right, so this is right at the front of the plane. And these are your first class seats. Very nice looking. Very, very nice looking. I wonder if the doors are modelled. Nah. But yeah, so this is first class, guys. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. And this is the gully. So this is the second stairwell. Or sorry, the first stairwell. Yeah, and then you go into the back into the flight deck. So there you go. So that's the tour, the grand tour of the A380. A very impressive aircraft. Do I have any more fun facts and figures here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, so the very first airline to take receipt of the Airbus A380 was actually Singapore Airlines. They were the first airline to fly the Airbus A380. So if I come down, I've got a little table here. Airline customers. Okay, so there's quite a few airlines globally that use the A380. So Air France. So Air France, sorry, I'm just playing with the camera here again. Air France, they have a total of 10 A380s in their fleet. All Nippon, which is a Japanese airline, they have a total of 3 A380s. Asiana, which is a Korean airline, they have 6. British Airways, they have 12 A380s in circulation. China Southern, they have 5. Now Emirates, guess how many A380s Emirates have in their fleet? So they have a total of 123 A380s. 123 A380s in their fleet. Okay, so they are the largest, currently the largest operator of the A380 globally. Okay, you then have Etihad. They have 10. Korean Air, they also have 10. Lufthansa, they have 14. You've got Malaysia Airlines, which have 6. Qantas have 12 in their fleet. Not a bad number there for Qantas. Qatar, they have 10. Singapore Airlines have 24. Okay, so Singapore Airlines are the second largest operator of the A380. You've then got Thai Airways as well. They have 6. So overall, and this is correct as of August 2022, total orders of the A380 was 251. Airbus delivered 251 A380s. There's a total of 239 in operation at the moment. And again, this is as of August 2022, so these numbers might have changed slightly since then. There's 16 operators of the A380, and I've just listed them all there. And there's 14 customers of the A380. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. So 14 customers. In other words, 14 airlines that are customers to Airbus for the A380. But the A380, as I have said, is now no longer. So they've stopped production of the A380. And really the reason for that is it just comes down to economies of scale. You know, at the end of the day, the A380 was or is still a great aircraft. It's still going to be flying and in operation for a number of years to come. But the reality is having a 4-engine aircraft, it's going to consume a lot more fuel. So it's not as it's very, very heavy on the fuel, and of course, being very heavy on the fuel, it's also very, very heavy and very expensive to the airlines. You know, the airlines are now looking at costs, as they always have. You know, we all look at costs to run aircraft, and to successfully operate an A380. Really, the A380 has to be always at its maximum in terms of its passengers, okay, for it to be profitable. Now, we spoke about how many passengers it can seat, and it was 555. So, the airlines are not always going to have 555 passengers on every A380 flight, okay? So it's all about profitability. It's all about the environmental impact as well of the aircraft. You know, guzzling so much fuel is no good for the environment. But I suspect it's more so to do with the cost of running the aircraft itself, and the profitability for the airlines as well. So, you know, we now have two engine aircraft, which are also long haul. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, the A350, that's a two engine aircraft, which is also coming to the simulator soon. And that's also a long haul aircraft. And I think it can also fly roughly 15,000 kilometers. Okay, so, and that's just a two engine aircraft. So it's going to be, you know, not as heavy on fuel, and it's also going to be a lot more profitable as well. I haven't looked at the seating capacity of the A350. It is a long haul aircraft, I can tell you that much, but I'm not sure of the seating capacity. So, yeah, I might be able to quickly look it up here. Anyway, it's yeah, the A350. Emirates just purchased a whole bunch of A350s now, so they're also starting to recognise that while the A380, you know, served its purpose for its time to compete with the 747, you know, they now recognise the need to look at their bottom line and to look at their profitability and the environmental impact that you know, four-engine jets have on the environment. You know, so. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to learning this aircraft. It's going to be a huge learning curve. I look forward to taking you with me on the journey. I'm not sure when that will happen. It's going to take me a bit of time to, I guess, you know, familiarise myself with the aircraft, learn all the various systems and all that sort of stuff, learn the flows. Because there is a lot to learn, and you know, as I said, I've got this flight manual here, which is quite comprehensive. You know, it's almost 100 pages of procedures and flows and stuff like that. So, really looking forward to it, and yeah, just really looking forward to having you guys with me and just enjoying the upcoming flight. As I said, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but hopefully it won't be too long. But this is it, folks. This is the Airbus A380 now available in the simulator, and yeah, I can't wait to take this beast up in the air and just have some fun with it. So anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for joining the stream, and thank you for watching. And yeah, we'll see you shortly, and hopefully it'll be in this this beast of an aircraft. So there you have it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and